Can you really become a millionaire by selling a rock in a box or mailing someone a potato? It might sound insane, but believe it or not, people actually pulled it off and made millions doing it. And these are not the only ridiculous incidents. Here are the 6 more crazy ideas that proved stupid can sell. Number 6. The banana duct taped to a wall. The first idea brings us to Miami at the prestigious Art Basel Fair in December 2019. There were collectors, celebrities, critics all around, dressed in black, sipping overpriced wine and pretending to understand abstract art. And then they saw a banana, not carved, not painted, not even bronzed. It was just a plain grocery store banana duct taped to a white wall. This was Maurizio Catalan's artwork, titled Comedian. I don't think there was any deep message or hidden layers there. It was just a literal fruit, and somehow it sold. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, each for $120,000 to $150,000. That's right, someone paid 6 figures for something that costs less than your morning smoothie. And if that wasn't absurd enough, the story got even better. Days later, performance artist Dave DeTuna walked up, peeled the banana off the wall, and ate it in front of stunned onlookers. He called it Hungry Artist, and the gallery shrugged and said, "No problem. The banana is just an idea. We will replace it with another one." Collectors didn't buy the fruit itself, they bought a certificate of authenticity, basically a piece of paper that proved that yes, they owned that banana art. The fruit could rot and be replaced endlessly. It was more about owning the concept than the product. Still, it was a brilliant prank on the art world and a serious payday for Catalan. If you thought paying $150,000 for a banana was insane, wait until you hear about the guy who sold a plain old rock. Number 5. Now, let's rewind to the 1970s, when one man proved you could literally sell nothing and become a millionaire. His name was Gary Dahl, an advertising executive with a wicked sense of humor. One night, over drinks with friends, Dahl was listening to people complain about their pets. They were complaining that their pets required too much effort, they were too messy, and too noisy. And he joked and said, "You know what would be the perfect pet? A rock. You don't have to feed it, walk it, or clean up after it." That throwaway line turned into a business plan. Dahl started boxing up smooth Mexican beach stones, putting them in little cardboard cartons with breathing holes, straw bedding, and the piece de resistance, a 32-page training manual titled The Care and Training of Your Pet Rock. It was full of sarcastic instructions, like how to teach your rock to stay or play dead. He priced them at $3.95 each, which sounds cheap until you remember that the product was literally something you could pick up for free in your backyard. And people went wild. The pet rock became a Christmas sensation in 1975, with Dahl selling 1.5 million rocks in just 6 months. That's more than $6 million in sales back then, which is over $30 million today. Of course, like every fad, it eventually fizzled out. But by then, Dahl was already rich, and all because he packaged and marketed one of the dumbest ideas imaginable. It's the ultimate proof that presentation is everything. With the right box, a rock became your favorite pet. In this story, at least there was something to pay for. The next college kid literally sold nothing and still became a millionaire. Number 4. The man who sold empty pixels. This funny thing happened in 2005. Meet Alex 2, a 21-year-old British student about to start university. Like most broke students, he needed money for tuition, but instead of flipping burgers, he came up with one of the strangest business models ever. He decided to sell pixels on a blank web page. He built a site called the $1 Million Homepage. It was a grid of 1 million tiny squares. Each pixel cost $1. Businesses could buy blocks of them to display logos, ads, or messages, with a minimum purchase of 100 pixels. In theory, if he sold every square, he would make exactly $1 million. It sounded ridiculous. You might think no one would ever pay real money for virtual squares on a random website. But you are wrong, because Alex was clever with publicity. Tech blogs picked up the story, the novelty went viral, and soon, advertisers swarmed in just to be part of the joke. By the end, he sold every single pixel, including the final 1,000 auctioned on eBay for a whopping $38,000. In less than 5 months, Tu went from a broke student to an internet millionaire. The page is still online today. It's a chaotic, frozen time capsule of 2005 internet culture. This includes casino ads, dating sites, random logos, and even Lord of the Rings fan pages. Did anyone get real advertising value from it? Probably not, but the publicity was priceless. So, the internet was willing to pay more than $1 million for nothing. Number 3. The most ridiculous NFTs. Speaking of paying for nothing, welcome to the world of NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Basically, these are digital certificates on the blockchain proving you own a piece of art, a meme, or even a tweet. In practice, it's just people paying insane amounts for JPEGs anyone can right-click and save. Take Beeple's digital artwork Every Days, the first 5,000 days, for example. In March 2021, it was sold at Christie's auction for $69.3 million. So, nearly $70 million for a digital collage you can look up online right now. Or consider Jack Dorsey, Twitter's founder. He turned his very first tweet, just setting up my Twitter, into an NFT and sold it for $2.9 million. Not the platform, not the account, not exclusive rights, just a token saying you own that tweet. And the craziness doesn't end here. Cartoon apes from the Bored Ape Yacht Club series sold for hundreds of thousands each, becoming celebrity status symbols. Justin Bieber bought one for over $1.3 million. Paris Hilton displayed hers on late-night TV. At the height of the craze, the NFT market was valued in the billions. Of course, like pet rocks, the bubble eventually popped. Values dropped. Many investors lost fortunes, and most NFTs are now worth pennies. But during the boom, creators and early sellers made millions off something that was literally intangible. Number 2. The ugly plush toys, ugly dolls. The next crazy thing on our list proves that sometimes success doesn't come from perfection. It comes from being so weird that people cannot resist. That's exactly what happened with ugly dolls. These were the plush toys that looked like they had been stitched together by a sleepy toddler. They had uneven eyes, lopsided smiles, and strange shapes. In short, they were the opposite of the polished, cuddly bears lining toy shelves. The story began in 2001 with David Horvath and Sunmin Kim, two art school sweethearts. David scribbled a doodle of a strange little character on a letter he sent to Sunmin. She turned that drawing into a real plush doll as a surprise gift. Friends loved it, and then shops started asking for more, and before long the couple had a full-blown toy brand. The dolls looked intentionally imperfect. They would have missing teeth, mismatched colors, and goofy proportions. But that was the charm. Kids and adults alike connected with the idea that it's okay to be different, even ugly. The message of self-acceptance struck a chord and sales exploded. By the late 2000s, ugly dolls had become a global franchise. The couple sold millions of plush toys and got up licensing deals for clothing, stationery, and even a full-length animated movie in 2019. That movie may not have been a blockbuster, but by then, the brand was already worth tens of millions. Not bad for a love letter doodle turned into a line of ugly toys. Sometimes the market doesn't want beauty, it just wants something so odd you can't forget it. Number 1. I Am Rich app. Now, let's talk about one of the most ridiculous scams Apple ever let slip through its App Store. In 2008, when the iPhone App Store was still brand new, a German developer named Armin Heinrich uploaded an app called I Am Rich. The name says it all, because it did absolutely nothing. For the outrageous price of $999.99, all the app did was display a glowing red gem on your screen. That's it. There were no secret features, no hidden game. There was no practical use. The only purpose was to show that you were so rich you could waste $1,000 on that. The crazy part is that before Apple pulled the app from the App Store, 8 people actually bought it. 6 in the US, 1 in Germany, and 1 in France. That's nearly $8,000 for a useless picture of a ruby. Heinrich pocketed his cut, Apple took their 30%, and the internet exploded with disbelief. The app even included a little mantra when you tapped the gem. Something like, I deserve it, I am good, I am rich, I am healthy, I am successful. As if spending $1,000 on a digital sticker somehow made you enlightened. Apple yanked the app within 24 hours after backlash, but not before it became legendary. To this day, I am rich remains a symbol of pointless luxury and internet stupidity at its finest. Now, maybe you don't have a rock to sell, a pixel website to launch, or a $1,000 app that does nothing to become a millionaire. Don't worry, you can always try your luck by entering the lottery. We have the secrets the lottery companies don't want you to know. These tips could be your ticket to the next jackpot. So click over to our next video right now. Your millionaire story might start there.